Hare Krishna. Jaya Radha Madhava Kunja Bihari Jaya Radha Madhava Kunja Bihari Jaya Gopi Jana Vallabha Girivardhari Jaya Gopi Jana Vallabha Girivardhari Yashodanandana Brajajana Ranjana Yashodanandana Brajajana Ranjana Yamunatira Vanachari Yamunatira Vanachari Jaya Radha Madhava Kunja Bihari Jaya Radha Madhava Kunja Bihari Jaya Gopi Jana Vallabha Girivardhari Jaya Gopi Jana Vallabha Girivardhari Yashodanandana Brajajana Ranjana Yashodanandana Brajajana Ranjana Yamunatira Vanachari Yamunatira Vanachari Jaya Radha Madhava Kunja Bihari Jaya Radha Madhava Bihari. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Jaya Prabhupada, Prabhupada, Jaya Prabhupada. Jaya Prabhupada, Prabhupada, Jaya Prabhupada. Jayam Vishnupad Paramahamsa Parivrajacharya Astottara Satashvi Srimad, His Divine Grace Srila Abhay Charanaravinda Bhaktivedanta Swami Srila Prabhupada ki Jai. Jayam Vishnupad Paramahamsa Parivrajacharya Astottara Satashvi Srimad, His Divine Grace Srila Bhakti Siddhanta Saraswati Goswami Thakur Maharaj Prabhupada ki Jai. Nantakoti Vaishnav Vrindi ki Jai. Namacharya Srila Haridas Thakur ki Jai. Prem se kaho Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadadhar Shivas Adi Gaur Bhakta Vrindi ki Jai. Shri Shri Radha Krishna Gopa Gopinatha Shyamakunda Radha Kunda Giri Govardhan ki Jai. Shri Navadvip Mayapur Dham ki Jai. Shri Mathura Vrindavan Dham ki Jai. Ganga Mai ki Jai, Yamuna Mai ki Jai, Bhakti Devi ki Jai, Tulsi Maharani ki Jai, Samaveta Bhakta Vrindi ki Jai. Nitai Gaur Premanande, Hari Hari Bo. All glories to the assembled devotees, Hare Krishna. All glories to the assembled devotees, Hare Krishna. All glories to the assembled devotees, Hare Krishna. All glories to the lotus feet, Shri Guru and Shri Gauranga. All glories to Srila Prabhupada. Namaskrityam naram cheva narottamam devim saraswatim vyasam tato jayam udirayat Nastaprayeshu abhadreshu nityam bhagavati sevaya bhagavati uttama shloke bhaktir bhavati naistuki. Om namo bhagavate vasudevaya. Om namo bhagavate vasudevaya. Om namo bhagavate vasudevaya. We continue reading from the Srimad Bhagavatam, Canto 4, the creation of the fourth order, and we are reading from chapter 11, entitled Swayambhuva Manu advises Dhruva Maharaj. We'll be reading 3 verses, 3, 4, and we'll do text 5 together. I will read the text 3 and 4. Tasya asastram danushi prayunjata suvarna punkaha kalahamsa vashaha vinirista avi vishur dvishad balam yata vanam bhima rava sikhandina. Translation: even as Dhruva Maharaj fixed the weapon made by Narayana Rishi onto his bow, arrows with golden shafts and feathers like the wings of a swan flew out from it. They entered the enemy soldiers with a great hissing sound, just as peacocks enter a forest with tumultuous crowing. Text 4. Taishtikma darer pradhane sili mukher itas tata punya jana uparutaha tam abhyadhavan kupita udhayuda suparnam unnada pana evahaya. Translation: those sharp arrows dismayed the enemy soldiers, who became almost unconscious, but various yakshas on the battlefield, in a rage against Dhruva Maharaj, somehow or other collected their weapons and attacked. Just as serpents agitated by Garuda rushed towards Garuda with upraised hoods, all the Yaksha soldiers prepared to overcome Dhruva Maharaj with their upraised weapons. Text 5 we'll do together, word for word. Saha tan prishakter adhidhvavato mirde nikrita bahuru shirodharo dharan ninaya lokam param arka mandalam vrajanti nirbidya yam urvaretashaha satan prashakir abhidhvavato mirde nikrita bahuru sirodharo dharan Ninaya lokam param arka mandalam vrajanti nirpidya yam urvaretasha satan prishakir abhidhavato midde Nikrita bahuru sirodharo dharan Ninaya lokam paramarka mandalam Vrajanti nirpidya yam urvaretasha Sahatan prishakir abhidhavato midde Nikrita bahuru sirodharo dharan Ninaya lokam paramarka mandalam Vrajanti nirvidya yam urvaretasha Satan prashaktir abhidhavato midde Word for word translation. Saha he Dhruva Maharaj, Tan all the yakshas, Prishakir by his arrows, Abhidhvavata coming forward, Mirde in the battlefield, Nikrita being separated, Bahu arms, Uru thighs, Siraha dhara necks, Udharan Ninaya delivered Lokam to the planet Param Supreme Arka Mandalam the sun globe Rajananti go Nirbidya piercing Yam to which Urvaretasha those who do not discharge semen at any time. Translation. When Dhruva Maharaj saw the Yakshas coming forward, he immediately took his arrows and cut the enemies into pieces, separating their arms, legs, heads and bellies from their bodies. He delivered the Yakshas to the planetary system which is situated above the sun globe and which is attainable only by first-class brahmacharis who have never discharged their semen. Please repeat. When Dhruva Maharaj saw the Yakshas coming forward, he immediately took his arrows and cut the enemies to pieces, separating their arms, legs, heads and bellies from their bodies. He delivered the Yakshas to the planetary system which is situated above the sun globe and which is attainable only by first-class brahmacharis who have never discharged their semen. Purport by His Divine Grace A.C. Bhaktivedanta Swami Srila Prabhupada. Shri Shri Radha Radhanath Ki Jai, Giriraj Govardhan Ki Jai, Gaur Hari Ki Jai, Tulsi Maharani Ki Jai, Guru Parampara Ki Jai. Purport by His Divine Grace A.C. Bhaktivedanta Swami Srila Prabhupada. To be killed by the Lord or by His devotees is auspicious for non-devotees. The Yakshas were killed indiscriminately by Dhruva Maharaj, but they attained the planetary system attainable only for brahmacharis who never discharged their semen. As the impersonalist Gyanis or the demons killed by the Lord attain Brahma Loka or Satya Loka, persons killed by a devotee of the Lord also attain Satya Loka. Persons killed by a devotee of the Lord also attain Satya Loka. To reach the Satya Loka planetary system described here, one has to be elevated above the sun globe. Killing, therefore, is not always bad. If the killing is done by the Supreme Personality of Godhead or His devotee or in great sacrifices, it is for the benefit of the entity killed in that way. Material so-called non-violence is very insignificant in comparison to killing done by the Supreme Personality of Godhead or His devotees. Even when a king or the state government kills a person who is a murderer, that killing is for the benefit of the murderer, for thus he may become cleared of all sinful reactions. An important word used in this verse is Urdhva Retasha, which means brahmacharis who have never discharged semen. Celibacy is so important that even though one does not undergo any austerities, penances, or ritualistic ceremonies described in the Vedas, if one simply keeps himself a pure brahmachari, not discharging his semen, the result is that after death he goes to the Satya Loka. Generally, sex life is the cause of all miseries in the material world. In the Vedic civilization, sex life is restricted in various ways. Out of the whole population of the social structure, only the grihastas are allowed restricted sex life. All others refrain from sex. The people of this age especially do not know the value of not discharging semen. As such, they are variously entangled in material qualities and suffer an existence of struggle only. The word Urva Retasha especially indicates the Mayavadi sannyasis who undergo strict principles of austerity. But in the Bhagavad Gita 18:16, the Lord says that even if one goes up to Brahma Loka, he again comes back. A Brahma Bhuvanal Loka Puna Arvatino Arjuna. Therefore, actual mukti or liberation can be attained only by devotional service. Because by devotional service, one can go above Brahma Loka or to the spiritual world, where from he never comes back. Mayavadi sannyasis are very proud of becoming liberated, but actual liberation is not possible unless one is in touch with the Supreme Lord in devotional service. It is said, Harim vina na shritim taranti. Without Krishna's mercy, no one can have liberation. Om Agyana Timirandasya Gyananjana Shalakaya Chakshurul Militam Yena Tasme Shri Guruve Namaha. Shri Chaitanya Manubhistam Stapitam Yena Bhutale Shwayam Rupa Kadamayam Dadati Swapadantikam Vandeham Shri Guru Shri Yuta Padakamalam Shri Gurun Vaishnavamscha Shri Rupam Sahagrajatam Sahagana Raghunatan Vitam Tham Sajivam Sadvaitam Savadutam Parijana Sahitam Krishna Chaitanya Devam Shri Radha Krishna Padan Sahagana Lalita Shri Vishakhan Vitamscha. He Krishna Karuna Sindhu Dinabandhu Jagatpate Gopesha Gopika Kanta Radha Kanta Namastute Tapta Kanchana Gaurange Radhe Vrindavaneshwari Vrishabhanu Sutadevi Pranamami Hari Priye Nama Om Vishnu Padaya Krishna Prastaya Bhutale Shrimate Bhakti Vedanta Swamin Iti Namine Namaste Saraswati Deve Gauravani Pracharini Nirvisesha Sunyavadi Paschetta Dishatharini Vanchakalpa Turubhyascha Kripa Sindhu Bevacha Patitanam Bhavinebhyo Vaishnavyo Namo Namaha. Jai Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadadhar Shivas Adi Gaura Bhakta Vrinda. Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare Hare. Translation to text 5. When Dhruva Maharaj saw the Yakshas coming forward, he immediately took his arrows and cut the enemies to pieces, separating their arms, legs, heads and bellies from their bodies. He delivered the Yakshas to the planetary system which is situated above the sun globe and which is attainable only by first-class brahmacharis who have never discharged their semen. So these 3 verses we read is a continuation of the battle between Dhruva Maharaj and the Yakshas, and more details of the battle that are given there. Now Prabhupada writes in the purport, to be killed by the Lord or by his devotees is auspicious for non-devotees. So we also see in the pastimes of Lord Krishna that the demons that he killed all attained a certain type of liberation. And here we read of Dhruva Maharaj. When he killed the Yakshas, they attained the planet above the sun globe called Satyaloka. And Prabhupada writes, as the impersonals, jnanis, or the demons killed by the Lord attain Brahmaloka or Satyaloka, person killed by a devotee of the Lord also attains Satyaloka. To reach the Satyaloka planetary system described here, one has to be elevated above the sun globe. Prabhupada writes, killing therefore is not always bad. So here it's especially meant like a devotee is killing, and in this battle, and those that he has killed, Dhruva Maharaj, they attain the Satyaloka. So we have to follow the process to try and save others, the process that Prabhupada is given to elevate them. We should not go out and kill anyone for the elevation, because we are actually nowhere near devotees. We may just be in the garb or externally as devotees. So this is on a much higher transcendental level. And therefore those that were killed by Dhruva Maharaj attained this higher planetary system, or the Satyaloka. And Prabhupada mentions what goes on in the material world. Material so-called non-violence is very insignificant in comparison to killing done by the Supreme Personality or his devotees. Even when a king or the state government kills a person who is a murderer, that killing is for the benefit of the murderer. For thus he may become cleared of all sinful reactions. So also we read in Prabhupada's books, and he quotes the Manu Samhita, which is the law book of mankind, and there's mentioned that that one should be given the death sentence if he kills. So it avoids him coming back and suffering that reaction. So he gets an immediate reaction that clears his, as we read here, he's cleared of his sinful reaction. Therefore many governments follow this. Immediately one is given the death sentence, and that comes from the Manu Samhita. Prabhupada continues, an important word in this verse is Urva Retisha, which means brahmacharis who have never discharged semen. Celibacy is so important that even though one does not undergo any austerities, penances, or ritualistic ceremonies prescribed in the Vedas, if one simply keeps himself a pure brahmachari, not discharging his semen, the result is that after death he goes to the Satyaloka. So it's very easy to go to Satyaloka, but that is not our goal, because Satyaloka is within the material world. It's in the higher planetary systems as we're reading, but it's not our goal. Our goal is what Prabhupada is given, to go back home, back to Godhead, to Goloka Vrindavan. And here it's mentioned if one is a perfect brahmachari, he can reach this planet. But that's not good enough, because later on we read that if one goes even up to the highest planetary systems, one still has to come back to this material world. Celibacy combined with devotional service, then we have the best opportunity of going back home, back to Godhead. Prabhupada writes, he makes a very strong statement. Generally, sex life is the cause of all miseries in the material world. Very, very strong and powerful statement. In the Vedic civilization, sex life is restricted in various ways. Out of the whole population of the social structure, only the grihasthas are allowed restricted sex life. Others refrain from sex. So you find in Prabhupada's preaching and his purports, his books, and his personal conversations, he strongly recommends the Varnashrama Dharma system that's given by Lord Krishna in Bhagavad Gita. This is to help us to avoid this, what he's saying here. Generally, sex life is the cause of all miseries in the material world. The beginning of the Varnashrama Dharma is brahmacharya, and it's recommended that from the very beginning, like from the age of 5, the children are sent to the Gurukul. The boys, they learn to study under the Guru, and they learn how to practice brahmachari life. This makes them strong in their character. They will develop good qualities, and this is part of the brahmachari training, that they will not be frivolous in their dealings with girls. They'll not freely talk with girls unless there's some service. Especially in our case, we are just simply meant to interact with females to get some service completed, and not to freely talk and cut jokes and all those things, because we'll get in trouble. We'll become so attached even within a second, and then next thing instead of trying to think of Krishna, we're not thinking of Krishna. So the whole idea of Varnashrama Dharma is that we have to practice or learn under more experienced persons or bona fide gurus how to practice Varnashrama Dharma. And the very beginning is brahmachari life. The same with the girls. They are meant to learn to be chaste from their seniors, from those who are experienced, and those who are practicing devotees. They should learn how to be experienced. And then when they mature, up to the age of 25, especially for the boys, then they can enter into grihastha life, what Prabhupada is speaking here about. And when after the training in brahmachari life, they'll also be strong in the grihastha life. Is that they will not become slack, and act freely. Oh, now I have some freedom and things like that. No, they'll still be very, very fixed in the grihastha life. And Prabhupada is saying, out of the whole population of the social structure, only the grihasthas allowed restricted sex life. So again, more training is required, and this will make the grihastha strong, and this will give rise to good population. Generally, you will find why there are so much problems in this world, because of bad population. The children that are born, there's no samskara by the parents in either their married life or whatever, that when they act for procreation, then they simply do it out of sense gratification. there's no samskara, there's no following of any vows, there's no praying to Krishna, to send a soul that they can train to become devotees. So therefore this leads to a bad population, Varna Sankara, unwanted bad population, and therefore we find human beings, adults, behaving so badly because there's no samskara, and as a result there's inauspiciousness. They have no idea what to do in this life. They have no direction. They don't know the goal of life, and they simply act like animals, simply eating, sleeping, mating and defending. And therefore again Prabhupada is saying, generally sex life is a cause of all miseries in this world, and we can see how miserable it is. In the very beginning it's very nice, it's like sugar, but it turns out to be poison later, because for your short time of sex enjoyment, maybe 4 to 5 minutes or whatever the case is, the result is you'll have to work so hard to maintain it. There's children. One person once told me that for your 3 or 4 minutes of sex enjoyment, you have a child. For about 18 to 20 years you have to maintain that child. You have to work hard just for 3 or 4 minutes of pleasure. So that's a fact. Even as devotees as well, you enter Grihastha life, you'll have to work to support your family. So Prabhupada is giving us such nice direction. Generally sex life is a cause of all miseries in this material world. And he speaks about the Grihasthas who are allowed restricted sex life. And always remember His Holiness Bhakti Tita Swami at one Ratha Yatra festival. He says, as Grihasthas, when we decide to have children at the time of conception, or that we should pray to Lord Krishna to send a soul that has not completed the process of Krishna consciousness. So you can now train that soul to become a pure devotee. Prabhupada continues, the people of this age especially do not know the value of not discharging semen. As such, they are variously entangled with material qualities and suffer an existence of struggle only. The word Urva Retasha especially indicates the Mayavadi sannyasis who undergo strict principles of austerity. In the Bhagavad Gita 18:16, the Lord says that even if one goes up to Brahma Loka, he again comes back. Therefore, actual mukti or liberation can be attained only by devotional service. Because by devotional service, one can go above Brahma Loka or to the spiritual world, wherefrom he never comes back. In this world, we are shackled by iron chains. We read this quite often in Prabhupada's books. And that main shackle, iron, is a result of this sex life. And in this purport we'll see how nice Prabhupada is first telling us about sex life. It's the cause of all misery. And now he's giving us the solution, how we can unshackle the iron chains. Prabhupada is saying, therefore actual mukti or liberation can be attained only by devotional service, because by devotional service one can go above Brahma Loka or to the spiritual world, wherefrom he never comes back. So it's so important to take this advice from Srila Prabhupada. A devotional service is what he has given. And devotional service means practical activity. Always be engaged in Krishna's service. And the main service is to chant the Hare Krishna Maha Mantra. Prabhupada continues, Mayavadi sannyasis are very proud of becoming liberated, but actual liberation is not possible unless one is in touch with the Supreme Lord in devotional service. And Prabhupada also states at the end, it is said, Harim vina na sristim taranti. Without Krishna's mercy, no one can have liberation. So what is Krishna's mercy and how do we attain that? As sadhakas or practicing devotees, we have to become sincere. That is the first aspect, to become sincere. And when Krishna sees this soul is sincere, then he manifests externally as the Guru. And from the Guru we get Krishna's mercy. He'll give us direction. Act in this way, think in this way. So much direction we get from the Gurus, from our mentors, from our devotees. We have to be prepared to receive that mercy. So the main point is to become sincere and to receive Krishna's mercy. Hare Krishna, we'll stop there. You can add on or to the class, have any questions.
Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna.
Early on you read it's such a violent, so much violence there. Cutting of arms and bellies. But nevertheless, they got a kind of elevated birth. They got already in such circumstances they left the bodies. Yeah, you're speaking about sex, illicit sex or sex, but also in other ways, like viewing porn can also stimulate reading about these things. Or like in the Nectar of Instruction, Rupa Goswami advises atyahara, prayas, overeating can cause this also, because they put pressure on the tongue, belly, genital, they're all in one straight line, so they can also give problems. So many aspects one can look at that, and so one has to be very vigilant and disciplined, controlling, especially in brahmachari life. It's very brahmachari life, retired also life, and sannyas. These are the three ashrams that are free. One is meant to be free from that. Yeah. Only the households have some restricted, as Prabhupada used the word, restricted license for some, but only in terms of a child, progeny. Other than that, it's still considered illicit. Thank you.
Any other comments? Grantaraj Srimad Bhagavatam ki, Srila Prabhupada ki jai.